In this podcast episode, Chris Harris, a prominent automotive journalist and former co-host of Top Gear, shares his experiences and insights about the show, the automotive industry, and his personal journey following a life-altering incident involving his colleague Andrew Flintoff. The conversation delves into the challenges of following in the footsteps of Jeremy Clarkson, the previous host, and the pressures of producing entertaining yet safe automotive content. Harris reflects on the intense scrutiny he faced after taking over Top Gear, noting that despite the show's popularity, he received significant backlash from fans who were loyal to Clarkson. He acknowledges that while he enjoyed his time on the show and the films they produced, the shadow of Clarkson's legacy loomed large, making it difficult for him to gain acceptance from the audience. He candidly admits that he still receives hate mail, illustrating the challenges of stepping into such a beloved role. The conversation takes a serious turn as Harris recounts the day of Flintoff's accident while filming a segment for Top Gear. Flintoff, who was driving a Morgan three-wheeler, suffered severe injuries after rolling the vehicle. Harris describes the moment he heard the radio call about the accident and his immediate concern for Flintoff's well-being. He reflects on the guilt he felt, believing that he could have provided better guidance to Flintoff, who was not an experienced driver. This incident profoundly affected Harris, leading to a period of introspection and emotional turmoil. Following the accident, the show was put on hold, and Harris lost his job. He expresses frustration over the lack of communication from the BBC and the feeling of being left in limbo. He had previously raised concerns about safety on the show, warning that someone could get seriously hurt. Despite his efforts to address these issues, he felt that his warnings were not taken seriously, which added to his distress after the accident. Harris discusses the changing landscape of automotive content, particularly the rise of YouTube and the shift away from traditional television. He notes that while Top Gear was once a staple of Sunday night viewing, the immediacy of online content has transformed how audiences engage with automotive media. He expresses a desire to return to creating content that focuses on cars without the interference of producers and network executives, emphasizing the importance of authenticity in storytelling. He also touches on the challenges of monetizing content in the current digital landscape, where audiences expect free access to information. Harris reflects on the difficulties of maintaining a balance between producing quality content and navigating the pressures of audience expectations and corporate interests. The discussion shifts to the topic of electric vehicles and the broader implications for the automotive industry. Harris acknowledges the advancements in electric vehicles technology, but expresses skepticism about the current push for widespread adoption. He highlights the challenges faced by consumers, particularly those living in urban environments without access to charging infrastructure. He argues that the transition to electric vehicles is often framed in a binary way, with little consideration for the complexities of energy sources and the environmental impact of manufacturing. Harris also critiques the narrative surrounding climate change, suggesting that it has taken on a religious fervor that can overshadow rational discourse. He emphasizes the need for a nuanced understanding of the issues at hand, advocating for a balanced approach that considers the realities of energy production and consumption. As the conversation progresses, Harris reflects on the joy of driving and the importance of preserving the experience of automotive enthusiasm. He shares his love for classic cars and the thrill of driving vehicles that offer a tactile connection to the road. He believes that the joy of driving should not be sacrificed in the pursuit of electric vehicles, and he expresses concern that the push for electric vehicles may diminish the experience for car enthusiasts. Harris also discusses the restomod scene, where classic cars are updated with modern technology while retaining their original charm. He sees value in this movement, as it allows enthusiasts to enjoy the best of both worlds, classic aesthetics combined with modern performance and safety features. Harris continues by discussing the historical significance of the Texas Rangers, highlighting their role in shaping the state's identity and the reluctance of Texans to join the Union. He reflects on the unique culture of Texas, where a cosmopolitan city like Austin exists amidst a backdrop of ranchers and a strong gun culture. He notes the juxtaposition of Austin's progressive nature against the more traditional armed rural areas, emphasizing the phrase, "keep Austin weird," as a reflection of this balance. As a British citizen, Harris expresses his astonishment at the prevalence of guns in American society, noting that it is a foreign concept to him. He acknowledges that while the UK has strict gun control laws, the First Amendment in the US allows for a broader range of free speech, contrasting this with the consequences of speech in the UK. He mentions the case of Australia, where gun control measures were implemented after a mass shooting, leading to a loss of personal freedoms that he believes would not be tolerated in the US. He argues that the Second Amendment protects the First, allowing for a unique dynamic in American society. Harris identifies himself as apolitical, expressing skepticism towards politicians regardless of their affiliations. He shares his belief that many politicians lack expertise in their fields, particularly in transport, which he finds frustrating. He reflects on the nature of public discourse, criticizing the prevalence of uninformed opinions and the impact of social media on the quality of conversation. He emphasizes the importance of critical thinking and the ability to choose what information to engage with, likening it to avoiding unhealthy food. Harris opens up about his experiences with fame, particularly the negative attention directed at his children. He recounts a disturbing incident where journalists attempted to lure his child into a car, highlighting the invasive nature of celebrity culture. He expresses his disdain for the way public figures and their families can be targeted, especially when the focus is on trivial matters like a television show about cars. This experience has shaped his perspective on the darker side of fame and the lengths to which some individuals will go for a story. The discussion transitions to motorsport, with Harris sharing his experiences in Formula One and the engineering marvels behind the sport. He reflects on the ingenuity of engineers and the lengths to which teams will go to gain a competitive edge. He recounts stories of clever cheating in motorsport, such as the use of ground effect in Formula One cars and the creative ways teams have circumvented regulations. He expresses admiration for the competitive spirit that drives innovation in the automotive industry. Harris discusses the crossover between motorsport technology and consumer vehicles, noting that while direct applications may be limited, the expertise gained in racing often translates to advancements in road cars. He highlights the importance of materials science and engineering breakthroughs that emerge from high-performance racing, ultimately benefiting everyday consumers. Harris concludes by sharing his exhilarating experiences with high-speed vehicles, including a memorable drag race against an F-35 fighter jet. He describes the physical sensations of acceleration and the sheer power of the aircraft as it takes off and the adrenaline rush that is followed by the thrill of pushing limits.